Definitely. You're going to need the long sleeves when you're playing baseball. That brought me back to summertime as a kid in the Pee Wee League. And my favorite thing is when you'd get the $1 credit at the candy or the concession stand. When I was a kid, you'd get a $1 credit at the concession stand. So you'd be out there and be like, okay, I'm going to have 7.5 Sour Patch Kids.
For just $1.
Let's do a box of candy cigarettes. You know, that was back in the 80s and 90s. So those were still around.
Times have changed.
Certainly. How about a big thing of Big League Chew? Oh, yeah. Then you can pretend like you're chewing tobacco. Yeah, anyway. Well, weather forecast. All right, that's what we're here for. Here's a live look from Veneco's on the Wharf tonight. Still a little unsettled, but right now I don't see any active showers across the region. We still have a chance through the overnight hours coming back in from the north, but right now I don't see any on radar anyway. You might still be getting a few sprinkles out there. Winds also dying down, but will still be a part of the overnight into tomorrow as well as this northwest flow continues. As for the temperatures, well, it is cold up in the mountains. In fact, we're down to 34 degrees this hour up at Santa Rita Peak at 5,000 feet. So there is some cold air aloft, but down in the valleys, we're still getting some deep mixing from these winds. So that is preventing our inversions from settling into the valley bottom. So it could be a lot colder based on the current air mass. But since the wind's blowing, I mean, we're still 55 in Monterey right now, for example. So mild, but it will be cooler tomorrow morning than it was this morning. We did see a cooler air mass work its way in. And again, a few isolated showers possible, just mainly right along the exposed coast overnight. These showers likely not for our inland areas. So tomorrow is the 1st of December. It is the first of meteorological winter. So let's take a look at our normal December weather here on the Central Coast. We'll talk about highs, lows, and normal precipitation. As you can see, precipitation, well, yeah, we are usually in the midst of our rainy season during the month of December. Places like Santa Cruz get a half a foot of rain typically during the month. Salinas, other more arid places, you know, usually get a couple of inches, which is significant as well. As for the temperatures, it is typically one of our coldest months of the year, obviously being wintertime. Highs on average are in the low 60s, in some cases into the upper 50s, and then lows for our inland valleys average in the 30s. And on the coast, we average to the low 40s. So a chilly month ahead in all likelihood. So how about rain looking forward? Well, let's talk about that in a moment. Quick look at our sunset picture from Salinas tonight. Showed some of those clouds hanging in out there. We really felt those cooler temperatures today. Highs were pretty much seasonable, though, about where they should be for this time of year, even though it felt a lot cooler out there. Santa Cruz and Watsonville were our hot spots. Hollister, Salinas in the low 60s, and same in Monterey, even with the wind coming in off of the water. Now, it is Drought Update Thursday as well. I just want to quickly give you a brief here. There was no change this week on the drought status, but 5% of the state remains abnormally dry, and I would not be shocked to start to see that area grow once again. And the reason why is we haven't seen a lot of rain in the state so far this rainy season. I know we're still kind of at the beginning of the rainy season, but we're running a deficit already. Even here locally, we showed you some of the numbers last night. Some areas are close to normal, other areas only about a third to a half of normal through the start of the rainy season. So if we start seeing some of that drought update creeping back in, I would not be shocked, considering that the forecast over the next couple of weeks looks pretty dry across much of the state. Maybe not so much in Northern California, but from the Bay Area southward, dry conditions expected here for the next couple of weeks, outside of a couple light showers. So this northwesterly flow will continue for the next couple of days, and we might still see a few showers reaching the Central Coast, but really not rainfall that matters in the grand scheme of things as far as our totals for the year. We might get a couple hundreds here and there. And that adds up, I suppose, if it happens every day, but just a couple chances is probably not going to do much for us. So over the next 48 hours, we still may see a few more light showers. So we look at future track, there's one weak wave that comes by overnight, and that is about 3 or 4 a.m. You see a couple little green blips passing by, so you might see another shower in Pacific Grove overnight tonight. And that's about it. Tomorrow, I think most of the daylight hours tomorrow will be dry under mostly sunny skies. We'll still have a bit of wind, but the winds will be generally dying down tomorrow. And temperatures will be cool. That air mass will be chilly. This will be the coolest of the next 7 days, I think, tomorrow. So we'll still be just a little bit below normal, but certainly cooler than the weather we have been experiencing. Late tomorrow night, clouds increasing again. Another weak little disturbance passes by. That could provide a few light showers again for near coastal areas during the day on Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that for you, but doesn't look like a big deal. In the meantime, let's quickly go through your temperature forecast tomorrow. We're going to stay in the 50s in the Santa Cruz Mountains, low 60s down on the coast. So still pretty seasonal, maybe just a touch cool for this time of year. Watsonville, perhaps one of our warm spots tomorrow at 63 with low 60s from Salinas to Aptos and then into our northern valleys as well. Morgan Hill, you don't make it with a high of 59. Over to the peninsula, winds continue off the water. The water temperature is still warm for this time of year, though. And with sunshine, you'll still get to 60 in Monterey and Carmel tomorrow. And then down south, mostly low 60s with a few higher elevation locations staying in the 50s. So over the next 7 days, again, tomorrow being the coolest, and the rain threat, which is very isolated anyway, ending Saturday, we'll start to see that warm up. Highs above normal back by Sunday. In fact, by Tuesday, we could be well above normal. Now, another weak system is going to pass by Wednesday into Thursday. That could bring some light precipitation, but it looks light at best, to be honest. And inland areas also a slow warm up with highs well above normal for Tuesday and Wednesday. And just to kind of give you an idea, you know, this week looking pretty dry outside of those few light showers we could see. The week after also looking pretty dry. After that, some hints of a pattern change as we get to around the second or third full week of December. But we'll obviously keep in touch on that one for you. Back to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dan.